This is 100 watts and a wire.
Last question of this show. Is operating at low power safer than operating a high power station? I think that's a great question, too. Thank you for that. Tell them, Steve.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's let's just go with what's required of us for our FCC license, and that's RF exposure. We have to do the survey, and definitely operating at lower powers reduces those RF exposures to us and to the uncontrolled environment, mainly people that are not part of the station. So, it's a big safety factor. Typically, our radios run on 12 volts, and then once you start to get up into higher powers and you're utilizing a tube-based amplifier, you're now dealing with high voltages that can be in the couple thousand volt range. So if you like to get your fingers underneath the covers, then you can get bit.
Oh,
so
forgot to tell you, you got a thing going on with HR. You know, it's weird.
Is Sherry back? Oh, no.
Rephrase that. If you like to get your hands under the covers. Okay,
the covers of the amplifier.
That's right. See, but nice catch. Oh, jeez.
That explains it all.
She's back.
Okay, let's see here, Sherry. It's all good.
I think there's a fear. I can tell you back when I got my first amplifier, it was a Meritron. It had been used. It had 3 tubes, and I kept reading, you could die with, and I was like, don't touch the chassis. You could die, and there was a fear built in, and I needed to change a tube at one point, and I went to unplug this thing. This is kind of what you're talking about, but I think there is a fear factor with amateur radio. It doesn't need to be. I was just so new that I didn't know. And I accidentally brushed up against, I think I unplugged this thing, but there was still a little bit of life going through the cord, and I touched the chassis, I guess, and I got a shock like, oh boy, I could still feel that day. Like, ooh, so any other work I did taking the hood off of that amplifier, man, I would unplug it. It would sit for a long time before I went back and touched it. So
let those caps drain.
Interesting, great question. But there was a little bit of, I don't know about this, man. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And then I just learned I got to put it down, unplug it, let it run out, like Scotty says, and there you go.
Or you could rig up a little, little 10K resistor and create your own little
chicken stick.
Yeah, I didn't know my A from my elbow back then. You know what I mean? I was just like, I could die. And I was shocked. I was like, oh. And somebody was like,
take a screwdriver and just go across the terminals and spark them out.
The old chicken stick. And some people called it the Jesus stick, too.
Yeah, come to Jesus. I wasn't ready for that. I'm not ready for that now. Right, Pastor Joe? For complete episodes, subscribe where you get podcasts and click the bell here on YouTube for features and live streams.